Friend. Hey girl, hey. What you doing? Me too, friend. I'm sitting out here in this parking lot because I had a little downtime. My husband and I had to divide and conquer today because all three of our children had some at the exact same time. Because that's how it happens. That's literally how it happens. Our daughter has a game at 6 o'clock. Our oldest son has a game at 6 o'clock. And then our youngest son has theater practice from 4 to 6 o'clock. So 2 needs to be where they need to be and already in the game at 6, while somebody needs to be somewhere picking up the youngest at 6. Y'all know how it go. This the life we live with these children who are active and in extracurricular activities. It is what it is. We have figured it out. My husband is divide and conquer. My husband will be at soccer. I'm in football. I'm waiting on the game to start, which looks like it's about to start in a second. And then my husband is going to leave soccer for a moment. Or probably he ain't even going to show up at soccer. He just going to go and scoop the youngest up, and then the 2 of them go over to soccer. Matter of fact, I need to get off of here and call him and tell him not to forget the youngest. Yeah, that's what I need to do. But anyway, I thought I would get on here and say hello to y'all. I hope you're well. I am 1 week away from fall break, and Lord, it can't come fast enough. Do you hear me? It cannot come fast enough. I know you're probably thinking like, girl, you just got back to school from summer break. Ain't no way you tired already. Is. Because let me tell you something. I don't know what's going on, and it feels like every year is a theme. As the school counselor, it's a theme. Like last year, unfortunately, we had lots of sicknesses and diagnoses and students who were battling. We had a student that was diagnosed with cancer. We had students whose parents were diagnosed with cancer. It was like a theme, right? This year, it feels like the year of divorce, right? And so, it is. I got up and made an announcement today to the student body that as we are ending the first quarter, don't forget that your counselors and those adults that you trust and you feel like you can have a safe conversation with, reach out to them. Y'all, these young people I feel like stuff they got going on is heavier than what we had going on, right? Check on your young people. They got a lot going on in their home lives, coupled with all of the competition of academics and athletics and, folks trying to get into college. And I know we had that too. It just seems like it's on another level. Especially the athletic world, right? Like folks can get, schools is going after children and offering cars and all kind of stuff these days in high school. Y'all. The competition is wild, which puts a lot of pressure on a completely not fully developed brain teenager, which then some of them then have the added pressure of us parents who have these expectations. Then you got teachers and the expectations. Then you got coaches and the expectations. On top of the social expectations and peer pressures and trying to live up, be cool and do the things and, mental health. I know folks don't really like to talk about that, but that thing is hitting different with this generation, right? Especially since our children have survived the pandemic. And we are beginning to see that thing flourish and pan out now that they are reaching middle school ages and high school ages. Like my son just started middle school and he was the kindergartner during the pandemic. He didn't get to finish his full kindergarten year, right? So those are factors that sometimes we forget when we be like, what's going on with these kids, right? Those are things that I try to remind adults, that I try to remind friends, family, colleagues. Like, as much as we think, man, this generation weak, there's some truth to that. I ain't gonna lie. The resilience is not what it used to be, right? But also it's because things are just not the same. I was just telling my mom, my sister, we were talking about how me and my sister, we rode the city bus, right? It's called the Matter Bus here in Memphis. We rode the city bus, and we were 13, 14 years old, going downtown to the terminal, transferring from that bus to another to get to. I can't fathom my child, my 14-year-old or 13, 12-year-old child getting on the city bus going downtown. And as much as we say, oh, they weak, they can't. Really, we are part of that because we can't. Times are different. Times are completely different. And we can't trust the community that we once had, right? Social media, that wasn't a thing. The news and things comes to us like immediately. We don't know what's the truth and what's not, right? Everybody we get, which makes us as parents more fearful because of what we see in the news and how easy it comes to us. So then we want to protect or overprotect, which makes this generation less resilient. So it's not just them. Anyway, so I said all to that. Child, I done got on here and just started rambling. But really, it bothers me how adults judge our children and place them in this bracket of y'all weak and y'all, back when you were, respectfully, ma'am and sir, it really is not the same. It really is not. Back when you were young, parents were parenting. Back where you were young, it wasn't babies having babies like it was the norm. Back when you were young, communities were communities. You could say something to someone else's child. Back when you were young, teachers could be teachers. Administrators could be administrators. You could say things and people wouldn't be so easily offended. Like now we can't do nothing. You can't say nothing. Folks are coming for you. You got to be very careful what you say, how you say it, which again, friend, takes us back to this generation. And we say, oh, they weak. Y'all, how was that even their fault? So I say all that to say, I didn't even get on here to do that. This just came. But it's because of my heart for young people, teenagers in particular. Folks be hard on them. Folks be hard on these teenagers, and I don't like that. I really don't. I go to bat for my babies, and they all of them know. T.T. Harris. I don't play about my students, y'all. I didn't birth none of them, but once they become my students, they are mine. I don't care background, color, religion, none of that. They are mine. And I want them to be well cared for. I want folks to be thoughtful and considerate in how they teach them, how we give grace. Grace should be extended to teenagers too. They don't know. The same way we give grace to a 2-year-old because they don't know and they're yet learning, the same grace we should give to a teenager. Now, after we done gave them a warning now, because I hold you accountable. And my students know that. Now, if I done gave you a warning and we done had a good educational conversation of why this can no longer happen again, all right, now consequences come. But sometimes the consequence, and sometimes we jump to the get them with an iron fist. Y'all, they children. They big. Don't get me wrong, they big. All my students tower over me, honey, but they're children. And their brains are still developing. And sometimes they just don't know. They act like they know. Y'all know. They act like they know. And they think they know. But if you sit down and truly have a conversation with a teenager, and they truly feel genuine care from you, they will hear you all day. I'm telling you what I know. They will hear you all day. When it comes from an authoritative type of delivery, they can't hear you good, y'all. They can't hear you good. So I say all of that to say, I need to get to go over here to my son game. And I hope that just a smidget of this makes sense, because I got on here to just ramble and have fun with y'all, and I done went on to a whole nother thing. Friend, y'all listen, love on them teenagers. Love on them babies. Love on them. Because I do. And you do too. Everybody our delivery just looks different. So from friend to friend, I'm just reminding you to be mindful of your delivery. Child, they mean well. Now, and they gonna get on our nerves. Yes, they are. They are. I'm raising 3 of them. They gonna get on our nerves. And every now and again, we do have to get on. We gotta talk smart sometimes, because sometimes they need tough love. I'm just saying, not all of the time. And that initial lesson needs to be, we need to just be mindful of the delivery. Amen. Amen, friend. Bye. Love y'all. Peace.